Welcome everybody to our Green Acres. Okay, let's get started. The first project I'm going to work on is going to be this little hang tag. Now you can get these at the dollar store, you can get them at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and sometimes you can pick them up at Walmart in the craft center. First thing I did to my little plaque was I applied some chalk paint. You always want to start out with a white background when using decoupage paper. I have really been enjoying decoupage paper and using it on my projects. So I'm going to leave a link down below at a website where I get a lot of mine, and they have a huge selection. I love to order up a bunch and keep it on hand for my projects. I just roll over it with a brayer. I use DIY Liquid Patina to apply it, but you can also use Mod Podge. Once it dried, I just went around the edges with a sanding block and also an emery board just to get in those little nooks and crannies. Once I got it smoothed out on the edges, now I'm going to fill up those little holes with some decorative thumbtacks. I'm just going to apply those in those holes using some hot glue just to make it look like a plaque. But you could also put ribbon through it, and I'm going to show you both ways when I go to style it. My good friend just gave me a goodie basket. So I took the goodies out of it, and now I love this basket. And I think it pairs so good with this little plaque I just made. So I'm going to apply it to the front using a little hot glue. Next project is going to be a fun one, and I'm trying to use up supplies that I already have on hand and not go out and buy anything. So I'm going to take this cereal box that we were going to throw in the trash. It's a family size one. Now I got the inspiration to do this off of Instagram, and the name of the Instagram account is Mother Thyme, and I'm going to leave a link to her information down below. But she made one and covered the entire cereal box, and she says she used 8 rolls of the nautical rope from Dollar Tree. Since I'm using what I have on hand, I had some of this wider nautical rope. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby, so I'm going to apply it around the bottom. Now when I went around the bottom, I put hot glue around the whole bottom just to get my bottom started and get it secured really well. And then as you work your way around the box, just apply hot glue as you need it. Now I did go around the back of my box, but at the end I had to go back and take some of those off so I could get more of the front covered. Because like I say, I'm trying to get by with what I have on hand, and I needed some more, but I did not want to go out and buy more. So I'm just going to make a smaller basket. But if you do want to cover the whole box, I think, like I say, I think she says she used 8 of the rolls from Dollar Tree. And that covered a family size cereal box. And this is going to make a really pretty straw basket. So we can make something, you know, out of a cereal box that we were going to throw in the trash. Now once I used all my nautical rope, now it's time I'm going to have to cut the top of the box off. And I'm just using my little razor blade with the handle, and I have this linked in my Amazon store. It's a great little tool to work on your projects. So once I went around and kind of scored it and got it cut, I'm just going to take that part off, and now I've got my basket complete. Now this little basket turned out so cute. Now I had enough nautical rope that I can add some little handles. So I'm going to add a couple little handles to mine. The first one I glued on the inside, and this one I'm going to glue on the outside. But you could definitely, if you can show the back of your basket, you can definitely put the handle on the outside on the other side also. Now there is so many ways that you can decorate this little basket. Now we can set it out, put florals in it. You can actually use this little basket all year long and just change it out for the seasons. project, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use up supplies that I already have on hand and I've got a bunch of, because why go out and buy more stuff when we already have enough? I took a pool noodle that I got at Dollar Tree and I formed it in a circle and I secured it with some duct tape. Now I'm using things that I already have on hand, and I always have a lot of florals and greenery because I always overbuy. But I had purchased this at Hobby Lobby last year, and it's just a lamb's ear garland, and you get it in the wedding section. I got it for $10 on half off day. Now I'm just going to start, and I'm going to start wrapping it as far as it'll go, just to start some filler on my wreath. I want to try to make a wreath with some lamb's ear, and then I'm going to add some boxwood picks, and then also I'm going to go around with some little white flowers just to use as filler. Now this pool noodle is a big wreath form, so you've got to have a lot of greenery to cover it. So I'm going to cut my lamb's ear up into sections so it'll go further. I poke a hole in my pool noodle with a pencil, and then I add a little hot glue down in the hole, and then I stick my greenery down in it. Now I just randomly go around the pool noodle, just kind of filling in, and then like I say, when I have some gaps, then we can go in at the end and fill those in. And you can also put florals on this, because y'all, a lot of times when I went through a lamb's ear phase one year and I bought every lamb's ear pig that Walmart had. So now I've got a ton of this and I don't use it as much anymore. And also with boxwood picks, I went through a boxwood phase where I just had to pick every one up that I could find at Walmart, and so now I've got a ton of these. So I'm ready to use them up and do something productive with them instead of going out and buying something new. So I'm going to take some of these. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to clip them off and make smaller sections of them and just go around the wreath and start filling in where you can still see parts of the pool noodle. Now once I went all the way around my wreath and I ran out of my boxwoods and my lamb's ear, I'm going to have to call it done. But I do have some little white flowers. I think I picked them up at Dollar Tree or Walmart last year. So I'm just going to clip off a few of those, just add a few of those here and there throughout the wreath. And also we'll give it a little pop of white. I'm going to add a bow to it at the top. That's another great filler. You know, if you run out of florals before you get your wreath done, leave one section and you can put a bow in that section and you'll never know you don't have any florals in it. So now here's my wreath, and I use things that I already had on hand, so this didn't cost me anything. I'm just using the supplies that I already have. Now that the weather is getting prettier here in Alabama and we're having some springtime days, we can get out and spray paint. Now, I got this last year at a yard sale, and I think I paid $2 for it. So it has been in my storage for a while through the winter. So now I'm going to get it out. And first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of deconstruct it. I'm not going to wire this up. I'm not going to use it as a light. I just want to use it as, you know, just as a decor fixture. So I'm getting Ben to help me. He's cutting all the wires. And one little socket, we're going to have to glue it back on when we get it finished, because the wires, once we cut the wires, it come loose. But we will, once we get everything spray painted, we'll go back and reattach it. So we're just, like I say, we're just kind of deconstructing. We're taking the parts off that we're not going to need, since we're not going to use it, you know, electrical. And then I'm going to take that little milk jar glass center part. I'm going to take it inside and clean it really well. And the rest of the parts that we're going to use, I'm just going to spray paint them with some flat Rust-Oleum spray paint. And I did spray some parts that we didn't need, but I didn't realize it at the time. So now we're going to put it back together. Now, we did probably 2 or 3 good coats of spray paint on it. So now we're going to put it back together. And Ben's going to just take off this part, because that we will not need. And I am going to use this little piece of chain, and I'm going to have to add a little bit to it to make it a little longer. But now we're just going to screw it all back together. And now we've got a great little deconstructed chandelier. Another really inexpensive decor piece that you can get for your home and decorate with is wicker baskets. Now, I think we all love baskets, and they are so functional also to store things in throughout your home. But, a lot of times we have them on hand, or you can pick them up at the thrift store and yard sales. Very inexpensive. I got this one at Goodwill, and I paid $1.99 for it. I love the shape and the handle on this one, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh it with a little bit of white spray paint. I went around it and gave it a couple of coats, and now we've got a beautiful basket that we can set out for spring and summer. You can add your greenery to this, your florals, so many things you can do by just adding a very inexpensive basket and adding some decor to it. Another project that I couldn't wait to work on since it's springtime is this chair. Now, y'all, I know this chair looks rough, but it also is got a lot of little shabby chic characteristics to it. So that's why I bought it. I bought it from a little antique store in downtown Rogersville, close to my home, and I paid $25 for it. And I know y'all are probably saying, man, that's a lot of money for that chair. But y'all, it doesn't need a paint job because the paint job on it is already chippy and it looks amazing. But after I remove that little piece of burlap, this is what it looked like underneath. But that's okay. We're going to deconstruct this chair, and we're just going to pull off the little, the burlap top, and I'm not real sure why that was even on there, but you can see the top, what it looked like, and I actually like that. It's got a lot of age to it, but like I say, it's got some shabby chic going on. So I'm going to rip out this whole cushion. We don't even want this. So all the insides is going to go in the trash, and then I'm going to get Ben to take these little springs out, and we're going to save these. So y'all, for $25, these springs right here are probably, worth it for sure, because these make great decor pieces also. So here is the chair now that we've got it all deconstructed and cleaned up really well. We went around and removed some little nails and some staples that was holding the upholstery, and now we've got a really pretty little deconstructed shabby chic chair that we can set up, and we can put baskets in the seat, and so many ways you can decorate these little deconstructed chairs. Another project piece that I've really been having fun with, and y'all know in my last few videos, I've given y'all lots of ideas of what you can do with these little Dollar Tree trays. I bought a bunch of them for my daughter's wedding, and we didn't use them. So I spray paint them white, and a lot of times these make great decoupage paper projects. Get your decoupage paper out, and I also showed one where you could put a mesh stencil on them in last week's video, and I'll have those videos linked down below and also in a pinned comment. But I just traced around the inside where I want my decoupage paper to go, so I'll have a good pattern to cut around it. So I'm going to cut off the excess paper and place it in the center. Now this right here would make a great tray. You could also put some little feet on it and kind of make it as a really pretty little riser. But I thought this decoupage paper was absolutely beautiful for spring because those florals are so bright and so pretty. So I just applied it using some DIY Liquid Patina. And then I'm going to go over it and roll out all the wrinkles with my brayer. And now we've got a great piece that we can put now in our baskets, and we can set out in all of our spring and summer vignettes. Another decor piece that I found at Goodwill was this very large hang tag. Now, I love this side that says Faith. What a great reminder. And I think I paid $2.99 for this. I'm just going to go over the back of this. I'm going to use it for my project. And I'm just going to go over it with a couple of coats of white chalk paint. I only did one coat because we're doing decoupage paper. So you really don't have to do 2 coats. You just really want a white background. Now again, I'm going to leave the website for this decoupage paper that I'm using in today's video down below. But I got this piece and she is absolutely beautiful. I love vintage ladies. So I'm going to put her at the bottom. And I'm going to show you how you can take one really inexpensive piece of decoupage paper and make it work on a larger project to make it fit. I'm going to take the lady and put her at the bottom, and then I'm going to take the remainder of this decoupage paper. I'm going to tear it off really easily and very carefully, and then we're going to put it at the top. And now you will have a little seam through the middle, but it's not going to be noticeable. But you can always cover that up with, embellishments. And in my case, I'm going to add a transfer. I'm going to put a little French wording down there, and it just kind of takes away from it. But if your colors match up on your decoupage paper, you may not even be able to notice a seam in the middle. So again, I'm just using Liquid Patina, but you could always use Mod Podge. And then I go over it with my brayer and I smooth it out really well. And once it dries, just go around your edges, smooth off the excess paper using a piece of sandpaper. And I'm going to poke back through that hole, and I'm going to work that decoupage paper down around that little circle. And now we've got a great little hang tag that we can hang, on our baskets, our wreaths. You can just hang this throughout your home. And if you got a little shabby chic, or just like if you've got a boutique top closet or something, this makes a great piece that you can put on your vanity. Now, I love to do 3D projects, and 3D means we're just going to make it look a little more realistic and put another layer on it. And this is the fun part. We're going to add embellishments. So I'm going to put a flower in her hair, and I'm also going to give her a pearl necklace. These are just little things that I already had on hand. And then I'm just going to take this little strand of pearls. These, I think, come from Hobby Lobby. It's like pearl ribbon. I'm going to cut a strand that's, large enough to make her a little necklace. And with just little dabs of hot glue, I'm going to tack that around her neck. Now we just gave her a little bit of a 3D look. And it's always the littlest details that will make the hugest impact on your decor pieces. Now, if you have followed my channel for very long, y'all know I love rabbits all year long. And I decorate with rabbits all year long. Well, I've had so much fun getting really pretty little rabbit graphics off of Etsy. And you can find little Etsy shops that have these little downloads. You just purchase them, and I think these were like $3, and you got 4 different styles of rabbits. But they send them to your computer, to your email, and then you can just download them onto your computer and print them out as many times as you want to, and you can resize them. And that's what I did with these. And I'm just going to make some cute little inexpensive hang tags. You just want to attach them using some school glue on a piece of poster board. I poke a hole in the top, add a little bit of ribbon, and now you can add these to your florals, your baskets. It just adds just another little cute detail for your spring and your summer vignettes. Just to give you more options for these cute little rabbit downloads that I got at Etsy, I also added them to a frame. So many options. Once you purchase the little downloads off Etsy, you can do so many things with them. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. It's time for me to tell y'all goodbye, but before I do, I have a huge shout out and a big thank you to go out to my sweet viewer, Emma. She's one of my sweet little friends. She's 9 years old. She follows my channel, and she sent me some of the prettiest napkins I have ever seen. I cannot wait to start using these on my projects. So many beautiful designs. She wrote me the sweetest note. It just touches my heart. So Emma, thank you so much for sharing your napkins with me. I will have so much fun creating things with them. You are the sweetest little thing, and I love you so much. Thank you so much, Emma. As I close out today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can stay connected. Also, like the video if you did, and also share it out with your family and friends. As always, I appreciate y'all, and I plan to see y'all next week in my new video. Bye, y'all.